Good morning and welcome to the Petitti Pro Garden Show. Thank you all so much for getting up early and listening on this holiday weekend. A lot of you might want to be sleeping in and you're up and listening, so we really appreciate that. But a lot of you gardeners are early risers anyhow, so today is the day. You want to go out and get all of your vegetable plants and get that garden in today for all of you vegetable garden people. And also this is the time that you're going to want to get all of your flowers. And it's safe. I'm pretty much guaranteeing we're not going to have another frost. Okay, but God hasn't told me for sure, but I'm really hoping that we're not going to have another frost, and it doesn't look like we are going to, especially with some of the temperatures that we have had this week. So this is going to be the weekend. So all of the lawn work is getting done, and we need to get our beds edged and cleaned up and weeded. And then, of course, we want to get our mulch down. And that hardwood double ground mulch this weekend is $26 a yard. We had a semi-load come in on Thursday morning, so it's fresh and ready to go. And the hardwood double ground has no artificial dyes in it. So it's not going to contaminate the soil in any way, shape, or form. It's safe to put around even in your vegetable rows if you need to do that. And we also have just wood chips if you need to use that. If you like that real light color, or if you want to put that down in between the rows of your garden to control weeds, that is going to be a great one for you. But you don't want to use any artificially dyed mulches, remember, in your vegetable gardens, because that can leach in and you don't want that to go on. Well, a lot, like I said, has been happening this week, and a lot of you have already been planting your gardens throughout the week. And so we've had a lot of questions about, what we need to be preparing for, how things are going, how things have already been this spring, what we need to be looking forward to and looking ahead for. And the cicadas are going to be out this year, and actually some people have already seen them emerging. So I guess some TV show, some news show this week was talking about how you can prepare them to eat them. They are very high in protein, but for those of you that's not interested in their protein value to eat them, most of you are just interested in getting rid of them to make sure that they're not eating your plants. So there are some great organic things that you can use to keep them off. The Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew, which spinosad is its active ingredient, is going to work very well on those. Also, the Garden Dust is going to work on that. So remember, you're going to want to keep your eye out for them. The cicadas seem to love a lot of our ornamental trees, especially the weeping snow fountain cherries, any of your burgundy cut type of plum trees. They really seem to like those. The things that the Japanese beetles like, a lot of times the cicadas are going to like also. Cicadas also really like locust trees. For some reason, I have seen them completely defoliate a locust tree. So people have been asking, is the cicada going to kill my tree? The cicada is not going to kill your tree. What would kill your tree is if they ate all of the foliage off and no photosynthesis was able to take place. That's what could kill your tree. So you do want to try to control them somewhat so that they don't completely defoliate the tree in your lawn that they like. And you can do that, like I said, organically with the Captain Jacks. You can really subdue them quite a bit with a neem oil, and also in your vegetable gardens with either one of those or the Garden Dust. All of those are going to work to help try to control those, unless you are wanting to capture them and prepare them for an edible meal. Those are probably going to be the ways to do that. Well, this weekend we do have some great sales going on, and we have also a contest. So this is going to be a lot of fun this weekend. First, for the sales, we have our dianthus, our pansies, and our snapdragons. All of those flats are going to be on sale for $2 off. So regular flat prices for the flowers, which is 36 plants for $15.99, are going to be on sale for $13.99. this weekend, and you can mix and match any of those three together, or you can buy full flats of each one. And so those three, the dianthus, the pansies, and the snapdragons, are all going to be on sale this week. And with the pansies, that also does include violas, because those are sort of interchangeable in the gardening world. So those are all going to be on sale this weekend. Also, we have a humus manure blend, which is a compost soil amendment, and these are a great product to mix in with your vegetable gardens, even putting a small amount in with your container planters. That is basically and should be mostly a peat base, but you can mix some of this in for high nutrient value. Those bags are on sale for just $3.99 this weekend. So you probably want to rush over there today and get a hold of those, because those are going to be going fast. They just went on sale this morning. And then for all of our customers that come in today and tomorrow and spend $20, their name will go into a drawing, and we will pull out a winner on Monday morning, and it will be for a free, beautiful hanging basket. So if you would like to be entered for that hanging basket, come over today or tomorrow and spend just $20, and you're going to be entered into that drawing to win that hanging basket. So that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful gift to give to someone, or to hang on your own front porch. That's going to be a beautiful one. So you want to make sure that you get a hold of that. So some other questions that we have had this week. It looks like critters are already becoming a problem for a lot of you. And so we always deal with rabbits and deer, chipmunks, all of these guys. And it seems like they are getting worse. And, we are intruding on their areas. They have less and less area to live in the wild. So, of course, they do cause some issues for us. Some people think that marigolds are going to keep the rabbits out of your garden. Usually the only way a marigold keeps a rabbit out of your garden is that they eat the marigold before they get to your garden, so they're full, and therefore they don't need to eat anymore in your garden because they've already eaten the marigolds. So it's not something that detours them. They actually like the marigold usually. They'll eat the marigold and be full. So if you do want to repel the rabbits from your garden, I would say number one is a fence. And it has to be a small fence, something like a chicken wire fence. But also, Repels-All is a wonderful, wonderful repellent. You can sprinkle it around the garden with a granular. For rabbit and deer, though, I do recommend a ready-to-use spray that you can spray on them, because they actually bite. They're not rooting around, they're biting things off. So you want to make sure that you spray it directly on the plant. It's safe to do that. And you can put that on the plant, and they will take one bite, and they're not going to want any more, because it does taste awful. It smells pretty bad to you as well. The nice thing is, because we're not as sensitive in our senses as the animals are, we don't notice the smell near as badly. Within about an hour, we can barely smell it, but it's still very, very potent to the animals. So they usually don't want to have anything to do with those plants after the Repels-All has been sprayed on them. And we have had wonderful luck with Repels-All in the granular form for groundhogs and skunks, different things like that. But also for the rabbits and the deer, the spray is working very, very well, and is working amazing for those people that are having those issues. Now, some folks have had some skunks rooting around their yard, and it was because they had grubs. And the Repels-All is not the way to go on that route. You need to go to the source of why they are rooting around. Sometimes they're looking for, your plants. But most of the times, if you have skunks, you need to get rid of the source. And usually skunks is a sure sign that if they're rooting hard, you have grubs. And grubs have been quite an issue early this year. Normally, we do not see grub activity quite this early. And sometimes when we notice a little bit of grub activity, it's overcome by so much growth happening in the spring. So we usually don't notice it a lot in our yards. because our grass is growing so fast at this time of the year, you don't notice them eating off some of the root systems. We usually don't notice it till it's the next stage of grubs, when the Japanese beetle is just laying those eggs and they're eating like mad before fall, before they have to hibernate for the winter. But this year, grubs are terrible. We didn't have a cold enough winter to kill some off. They didn't go real deep. We warmed up a little early, so they came to the surface early. So beware. I think Japanese beetles are going to be out early this year as well. But we have definitely seen lots of grub. So remember the milky spore. Milky spore is a great way to control the grubs. 10-year guarantee by the St. Gabriel's Company. So that's a wonderful one. It does take some time to start activating. It's a live active spore and it does have to grow. Remember that. So it's not going to control and kill the grubs quickly. It's going to take some time. But thank goodness at this time of the year, the grass is growing fast and a lot of times you don't notice the damage that they do. But get that down right away so that in the late summer, when the new babies are hatching and turning into the nymph and they start to eat a lot, they are going to be able to eat that spore, and then you don't have to worry about them because they are going to die. So you don't have to worry about that. So you want to make sure that you do get that milky spore down. A couple of the other questions that we have had is about birds. They have been biting off the top of your pepper plants. And it happens a lot, especially like the crows seem to do this. They don't eat it. They don't really like them, but for some reason they're attracted to pepper plants and they want to just nip off the top. Now, if this was really early in the season and you had happened to plant them out and you nipped off the top, you would probably be okay because it would grow back. This time of the season, they're nipping off the top with bud on it, formation already, and these plants are a little bit older and more mature. A lot of times it's better just to plant another one because it's going to take too long to come back, rebud. It won't have enough time to grow a pepper before we're getting a frost. So you want to make sure that you do protect them somehow. You can, again, spray on the Repelzol. It will help deter birds a lot of times. Also, a net over your pepper plants. Make sort of like a trellis over your pepper plants and cover it with a netting. If you are having that issue with your peppers, a lot of times it's worth that effort so that you get your pepper plants. I can't tell you how many people have been back in this spring where birds has nipped off the tip of their pepper plants and they're buying again. So it might be worth it to make a little teepee, some type of a little trellis, and then net your pepper plants if you are having this issue so that you can save some of those pepper plants. The other question that we're having is it safe to plant? And definitely it is. So like I said earlier in the show, I don't think that we're going to have a lot of issues with frost anymore. So I think that we're all safe on that. But if you have questions like this and you would like us to take a look at something that's going on in your garden or your flower beds or your landscape, you can always give us a call at 330-455-5997. We'll try to answer your questions over the phone the best we can. You can take pictures and email them to me at Cindy Petitti, that's CindyPetitti@gmail.com, or better yet, come on into the store and bring us your questions at 5828 Columbus Road in Louisville. We're right on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway in Nimishillen Township. And you can bring us your questions and we will answer them. We do have a couple requests. If you are bringing us your question, if it is a disease or an insect or something that you think might be a disease or an insect, we do ask you to have it in a sealed bag of some kind before you bring it into the store. Or if you're bringing a limb or a twig, something that you think might have a disease on it that you can't fit into a baggie, leave it in your car and one of us will come out and identify it for you. And that way we don't have to worry about carrying that disease in to the greenhouse. If we get a disease or an insect in the greenhouse, we already battle enough insects and diseases because of being organic. We don't need to bring anything else in. So we ask, if you have one of those questions, let us come out to your car and we will make sure that we help you with that. So we'd love to be able to help you, but we just don't want to make our issues any worse than they are. So please come on over and do that. So don't forget, we have some great sales going on this weekend. The dianthus, the pansies, the violas, and the snapdragons, all at $13.99 a flat this weekend. We are having the humus manure soil amendment by the bag on sale for $3.99. And also, for every $20 you spend today and tomorrow, we will be having that drawing for a beautiful hanging basket on Monday, and you can come over and pick it up. We do have some special hours this weekend. Today, instead of closing at 4, we won't be closing until 5, so come on over. An extra hour today. We opened actually a little bit early this morning. Everyone was there about 7:30 so that we could get going and I could get here and the store could still be open. And we will be open till 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, on the 29th, we will be opening at 9 a.m. instead of 11 a.m., and we will be open until 4 p.m. And on Monday, we will be open from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. My family has sort of much demanded that I take some time off and spend some time with my family. So we're going to be doing that on Monday, and we want to make sure that all of our other employees and our team gets to spend some time with their family. We've been very busy this month, and everybody's been putting in a lot of hours. So I want to thank all of them for all their dedication this month, working all the extra hours. So remember to spend some time with your family, and remember the price that was paid for this freedom that we have. This is, Memorial Day, and we observe it, but, so many times we don't really think Memorial Day now is a day for picnics and celebration. But remember the cost that so many paid so that we could celebrate on this Memorial Day. And we are just so blessed to be able to celebrate a Memorial Day. And we also want to remember all of our loved ones, maybe not military, but all of our loved ones that has passed. And on Friday, we made a post on Facebook that a legacy is what you leave in someone. An inheritance is just what you leave someone. So think about that. Leave a legacy. An inheritance comes and goes. But a legacy, what you leave in them, is what's so important. And we need to make sure that we remember that. So we're going to stop being so sappy and get back into some more of the questions that we have. So the next question that we had was about dwarf Alberta spruces. And these folks come in, their dwarf Alberta spruce over the winter seemed to have some spots on it that is dying out. And over the years, we have talked about this multiple times, but dwarf Alberta spruces are known to get spider mite. And we deal with it all the time. And if you don't catch it quick enough, it can destroy enough of the plant that it's not worth trying to treat. So if you have small areas that's dying in a dwarf Alberta spruce or multiple dwarf Alberta spruces, you probably want to check this right away. An easy way to do it is to take a white piece of copy paper, put it inside the branches, hit the branches, pull it out very gently, and some of us that's older, we might need our reading glasses or a magnifying glass. But if you see little spots moving around on there, it probably means that you have a red-spotted spider mite on your dwarf Alberta spruces. And you want to get that controlled right away because, like I said, if you don't get it controlled quickly, it can take over the whole plant and it won't be worth saving the plant. So you want to make sure that you get it treated right away. Mitex is a great way to do it. It comes in a ready-to-use spray bottle, and it works very, very well. There's other plants that get the spotted spider mite, but dwarf Alberta spruces seem to move quickly, and they multiply very, very fast. And so that Mitex is a great way to do it. Also, a lot of times our hydrangeas will get the mites, and you can use the same product on those. But you really want to make sure that you are feeding your plant a healthy diet. It's going to help the plant be able to fight off the mites or any other insect or disease that could attack that plant. So you want to make sure that you are fertilizing. Remember, you don't fertilize so the plant grows. You fertilize so the plant stays healthy. And trimming goes along with that. Yes, that's very true. But you want to make sure that you are fertilizing, feeding it a healthy diet to keep it healthy so that it can resist a lot of these insects, diseases, and mites. But if you do have it, Mitex is a great one to use. If you think you might have mites and you do the test and you think there's only a few, there are other things that you can do if you already have it. So if you already have some neem oil or some all seasons oil, go ahead and spray with that because those will also control some mites. If you have a really bad case, though, you'll probably want to come in and get some Mitex. Some of the other plants that get the mites besides the hydrangeas and the dwarf Alberta spruces, if you have an angel trumpet tree, a very, very elegant tropical plant, very susceptible to the spider mites. So those are ones that you want to really watch and be up on because they can do a lot of damage very quickly. The next question that we have was about our lemon trees. And a lot of you are moving your lemon trees, your lime trees, your clementine trees that you overwintered. You're moving them outside. And some of you have had some insect issues on those as well. This happens so often. Inside, you're like, how in the world did they get these insects? But it happens. And other house plants come in, even insects on your shoes, it sort of seems sort of crazy, but even vegetables and fruits that we bring into our house sometimes can have an insect egg on them. And as soon as it turns to an adult, it is like looking for vegetation to eat. And so they will find their way to your plants. And so if you are having some insect issues, aphids is definitely an issue. Scale is definitely an issue on our citrus fruit trees that are going in and out. You want to make sure that you are treating them. Remember, if they are in bloom, you do not want to spray. So we had a customer, in this case, he had he had scale on his lemon trees and it was in full bloom. What does he do? We are recommending to take an organic oil-based insecticide like the neem oil or the all seasons oil. And literally, you can pour it down the branching so it just runs down the stems and the branches. And if it's on the leaves, actually painting it on the leaves. If you love your lemon tree and it's producing well, it is definitely worth it to you to do this extreme prevention or control if you have it. But you want to make sure that those scales are killed. The best way to kill the scales is with an oil-based insecticide because it suffocates them. So that's going to be a great way to do that. So you want to make sure that you are able to control those that way. There's just so many things that goes on, and I really think that we all need to be prepared this year for insects. This easy winter that we had, I think insects are going to be an issue, and I think they're going to be an issue early for us. So if you are organic, which I'm encouraging, you want to be preventative and be proactive. Don't wait till you have a terrible issue and then try to get it controlled. Insects and diseases are going to be out there this year just because we didn't have a cold enough winter to kill a lot of things off. So we want to be prepared for that. This is the weekend for planting. So come on over. Like I said, we have extended hours today. We will be open until 5 o'clock. Tomorrow we will be open from 9 a.m. till 4. And Monday we will be open from 8 a.m. until 1. So please come over and join us. Remember the sales on the dianthus, the pansies, the violas, and the snapdragons and the flats at only $13.99. We have the humus and the manure soil amendments on sale for $3.99. And the drawing for every $20 that you spend, you're in the drawing for a hanging basket that we will draw on Monday morning. So please come over, 5828 Columbus Road in Nimishillen Township, right on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway. and we would love to help you out get your organic vegetable gardens. We don't have a lot of shrubbery in right now because of the greenhouse, so we recommend that you go to another independent local garden center nursery to select those because we aren't going to be able to help you a lot with that right now. But if you need vegetables or bedding flowers or beautiful hanging baskets, fruit trees and berry bushes were the place to go. We want to thank all of you for listening, and remember to leave a legacy. We want to thank all of those that have gone before us, and we want to remember them today. We want to thank all of you for listening, and have a blessed week.